From Matthew 22, verses 1 to 14, the parable of the wedding banquet. Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, 'Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fattened cattle have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet.' But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. Go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you find.' So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, both good and bad, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. 'Friend,' he asked, 'how did you get in here without wedding clothes?' The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, 'Tie him hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen.'"
I am not sure if I already shared with you this story that happens to me when I was in the seminary many years ago. So the seminary on the corner, at that time it was a place that should to have big parties there. And one day I was back from some place on the night, walking on the same street to go to the seminary, because I used to live also in the seminary. And when I passed before this building, I saw a cousin. So it was like a cousin who actually lives in a different state. So it was like why he's doing here, you know? I mean, it was very weird. And he told me, "Oh, hi Erika, how are you doing?" "I'm doing well," and blah, blah, blah. "What are you doing here?" "Oh, because my girlfriend has a party upstairs, and we are waiting for the people. I am waiting for the people that she invited. But I still have 2 tickets for the party. Do you want to come to the party?" No, it's like I was with a chandal and flip-flops. I mean, the best image that could you imagine about me? You know, I don't think so. I am ready for a party. Look at me. "Oh, it doesn't matter. You can come." And you know, when you are in the college or seminary, you don't have too many opportunities to eat good. So it was an opportunity to, okay, a free dinner. Why not? No, so I came to the party with the best outfit that I could find. I mean, with chandal and flip-flops and just a t-shirt. And obviously everybody noticed me that I was ready, dressed for a party. And this reminds me very well of this, because it really happens to me. So somebody have an extra ticket, I mean my cousin, and he just told me, "Come to the party." And I say yes, because I was with hungry. And so it's very similar about what happens in this parable. So there is the invitation to the wedding party, and we understand perfectly the idea about the wedding party, because probably it's the biggest party that we can have in our life. I mean, we can have another kind of party, but the wedding is a different kind of party. It's the biggest party with a lot of people, a lot of guests, and with music, and we just spend all the money that we don't have just to celebrate our wedding. And this is what is happening in this story. That the father of this story invites a lot of people, and invite family, friends. It looks like he's a very important person, and he decided to invite everybody to come to the wedding, to this party, because it's a time of joy. And I suppose as a parent you want to share that joy with those that everybody you met, with everybody you know. And he for sure prepared a very big party with a great banquet, but nothing come to the party. When we use the word banquet, we immediately thinking in good food. No? Good food and abundant food. No? Tables with a lot of food, and food which is really, really good food. No, it's not like we preparing hot dogs for a wedding party. No, we try to prepare the best food for the party, you know. It refers to have an abundant table full of delicacies to enjoy in this very festive occasion. The word banquet in the Bible is used to demonstrate the abundance and generosity of God. You remember, for example, the Psalm 23, when he said that he put before the table before me, and overflowing that table. No? Also, to describe the promised land is a place that flows with milk and honey. So, and also in the Gospels, Jesus affirms that food is a place to encounter and communion with God. He himself participates in numerous meals and banquets, and proclaimed himself as the living bread that came down from heaven and give us life for the world, to the world. So, that is the idea that now we can imagine what kind of celebration it was this. Also, this parable is talking about an invitation. As I said in my story, how can I say no to the dinner? How can I say no to food? How can I say not to food? And especially for a wedding, when you receive the invitation to a wedding, it requires to accept and to participate in that. It's very rude, actually, you say, no, I can go to your wedding. I can go to celebrate with you your special day. No. We accept and we prepare also for that special celebration. Actually, there is people that actually bought a new clothes, no, for that special date. Or actually we put in our agenda the wedding of my cousin or my brother or wherever. And I know that that day is especially for that. There is people who actually travel from one state for another state or even country to go for a wedding. So it's something that it requires to accept and to prepare ourselves for that. Certainly you cannot force anyone to participate on this celebration. And Jesus is telling that the parable of the king's son's wedding banquet emphasizes the urgency of responding and participating in God's plan. It is clear that this parable is talking about God, inviting his people to come to this celebration. And God, even in this parable, we can see that God is not forcing nobody to come. He invites. He gives to all of us the invitation. Our answer is what he expecting from us. But he cannot forcing us to come to the party. It's our own decision to participate on this party, to participate in this special occasion. Participate also in a wedding means that we will be witnessing the love and commitment between two peoples who expressing his love publicly. So that is why it's so special, because we are going to witness this. A wedding is a celebration of love and a moment of alliance between families that become a larger family. And the king wants his guests to participate in this unique moment and to share the joy with all his family. But what happened? The guests declined and rejected the invitation. And they did it twice, 2 times, without taking into account the insistence of the king, who sent his servants to call them after preparing the banquet. Instead of accepting, they rejected, mistreated, and even killed some of the messengers. It's clear that we are talking about here the people of God, who reject the words of those who were sending before Jesus, to calling them to the repentance. But also, in our case, the parable showing us the hostility and the inability of the people to recognize the generosity and the attention of God that he has for us. It's very easy to say to God, no thank you. I don't have a time. I am not ready. I don't want it. Perhaps later. This parable is talking also about our human nature. To thinking about that there will be another opportunities. But in the most of the case, wedding is happening just once. And you and we are invited to celebrate that wedding. The guests here show that the guests have another priorities in their lives, businesses to do, another worries that require their attention. So that is why they don't go. And probably they have very good reasons to don't be in that party. But again, it's a party, it's a wedding, it's an invitation. It's not was an invitation to come, let us take the tea. No. It's an invitation to a wedding. And the expectation is that we don't say no. The expectation is to say, yes, I will be with you. I will be there. At the same parable of the last week, this parable is presented in the last chapters of the Gospel of Matthew, where the moment of the final judgment is narrated, in which God will call each person to be judged according to their deeds. Since this is an invitation, it is up to us to accept and to participate of the wedding of the Lord. When the king discovers that the first guests reject him, they are replaced by all kinds of good and bad people. The king sent his servants to call and to bring them to the wedding, that everybody who was found. This is talking about that the hospitality of the king has no limits. That because the wedding is going to take place, even without us, the celebration will be happening, even if we don't want to go. This amazing recruitment shows the inclusion and acceptance that the king has for all people when offering them the banquet. God's plans moves forward even over indifference and rejection. Yeah. Probably to say God, to say the king, I will go to your wedding or the wedding of your son, probably makes God make me feel mad. But he will celebrate. The celebration will continue. And he will call everybody to come. Everybody is welcome to everybody. Everybody is welcome to the party. And then appears this part of the story that is very hard to me to understand. Back to my story. Yes, I was coming from the streets. I don't remember from where I come in, and obviously, when I say my cousin, I am not dressing for a party. He just told me it doesn't matter. So I came to the party in that conditions, and everybody watched me, and probably everybody talks about me. But it's very hard to me to understand this. Okay, God, what are you expecting of this? You go with the people that you sent the servants to go to the street, and to everybody was on the street to come to the wedding. Obviously, anybody was ready for a party. Obviously, nobody had the dress code for a wedding. But then, I discovered something. It was me. I discovered me when I was preparing this sermon. Yeah. The wedding suit, the dress code, is something that we can thinking about that, how we come to that party, to that celebration, the attitude that we have for that celebration. We know nobody will be happy. Not all will be happy for how it's happening the party. If you serve chicken, people will ask you for meat. If you serve meat, there will be people that will be complaining and they prefer fish. And then there is people that always focus in the little details and they don't enjoy the celebration. And they forget the focus about why they are there. celebrating love. I think this person who was rejected, well, not just was rejected, was tired and sent to the death. I guessing that this person started to criticize everything is happening into this party and forgot about the gratitude, to show the gratitude to the king. And also, he doesn't have an attitude to celebrating the love. More than that, his attitude, it was selfish and far away from the celebration of the love. There will be a lot of people there that celebrate this party. But one person was sending to the dead. Just one person was rejected for what he was wearing. And what I discovered from after reading this, it is about when we come into the encounter with God. When God is calling us to the banquet, where He is offering to us abundance of forgiveness and grace, even if we are there, we don't show our gratitude and we don't accept the love of God. The wearing the dress code that we should present when we accept the invitation of God, it is about to thinking about the reason why we are there, showing to Him our gratitude, and most important, celebrating the love of God. When we want to participate into the banquet with selfish behavior, the king will realize that we are not wearing the appropriate dress to participate in his son's wedding. Even if the servants allow us entry, it is the king who observes us and recognizes each one in particular. Therefore, the parable ends by saying that many are called, but few are chosen. We must then work diligently to be among the chosen ones, recognizing that the banquet of God and the banquet that will be calling us to participate, it is actually an act of love for us. Let us accept the invitation of the Lord. Let us enjoy the King's hospitality, and if possible, let us wear the wedding garments as witnesses, to be witnesses of the love of God, to the love of the Son for all of us, and let us celebrate that God is loving us first. To participate into the banquet, it is to participate into the party of the love of God.